Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 4 of Season 3 of the Youth Regen Road to Glory series with Wimbledon. We're having a decent time of things actually in the Championship. The first month of our Championship campaign was 4 straight defeats and then a win. And then last month, we did very well indeed and now find ourselves sat in 8th, just a point outside the playoffs. A few players leaving on international duty, but now that we're in the Championship, we actually get the break for international duty, whereas in the lower leagues, we didn't. Dave Walker's on his way back from injury, which is good news, but we are, of course, were trying out Neumann in a more regular role on that left-hand side, but he's picked up an injury in the last episode and has missed out on a few games. Walker's still unavailable to play. So we'll leave things as they are currently with Hughes and McCall involved. Lorenzo Ferreira's actually been very solid for me. An improvement on is it Marine Ruiz? Is that his name, Marine Ruiz? Yeah, Marine Ruiz at centre back. So I'm pleased with that. Also coming in, Lugano to the starting lineup has been decent actually. I'll give him his dues. And Badimo's growing well, and Esteban Munoz, despite only being 60 rated, is scoring goals. So we are having a decent season right now. Gone through and I've untucked the shirts of all of the new signings because you guys just hammer me in the comments every single time that I don't immediately untuck someone's shirt when I sign them as a regen. So I've gone and done that. But we've got 4 games today, 3 of which we'll play and 1 we will simulate. That simulated game will be the Barnsley one. So we'll play Wigan, we'll play Bournemouth, we'll simulate Barnsley, and then we'll play Reading away from home and hopefully come away with another decent haul of points. And maybe sneak into the top 6. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. There'll be a Southampton video later on today, as well as, of course, a sticker book collection video too. But for now, Wigan. Sam Morsey trying to work the ball about. Clough into Vaughan, and Vaughan shoots on target, but well held by Bennett. Wigan, of course, is a side that came up with this last year. They won automatic promotion along with Barnsley from League One. We, of course, relied on the playoffs. And Wigan were a side that actually beat me quite comfortably, at least once last year. Can't remember whether we actually got payback in the second game of the season or not. I seem to remember losing heavily to Wigan in game number 1, though, of last season between us. I'd like to start by having a decent result against them in the Championship. It'll be a good gauge of how far we've come as a side. And Badimo, unfortunately, shoots rather horribly wide there. Matty, Powell, goal. The headed clearance was terrible, and then they quite simply just one pass, second pass, bang. 1-0 Wigan after 12 minutes. The clearance, awful. And then one pass, lay it back to him, and bosh. Great. Cooper to Badimo. Through the gap there to Esteban Munoz. Samuel de Jong's made the run. De Jong! Good save by Jones. Cleared away by James. Try and build something else. Badimo with a decent touch. Back to Lugano. Esteban Munoz is there. He's left-footed. Around the corner there is McCall. Level. Good football. He was left on his own there, McCall. Quite a simple finish for him. We're not behind for long. You can see how the defender tucks in there and just leaves him all alone. It's woeful defensive positioning and awareness. But I'm happy. 1-1. We've got a corner. See what we can do with it. Lugano will deliver. And it's headed away by Massey. Esteban Munoz picks the ball up. Badimo try and get that around the corner there to McCall, who's turned well. He's in for his second and our second, but the shot's well blocked. Looks like it's good. Oh, hang on. Keep that in. We might be able to make it 2-1. I'm trying, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be 1-1 at the break here against Wigan. Both sides playing well, but neither side able to go in at half-time in front. Good header. Forward there into James Vaughan. Turns well. To Nick Powell. Across to McDonald. Out muscle him. Didn't quite work. Hopefully we're not going to need to worry about it too much. Bennett will dink that out there to Cooper. Forward into Hughes. There's Lugano. De Jong driving forward with real purpose here, Samuel de Jong. There's Munoz. It's a bit narrow angle for a shot. There's de Jong again. De Jong! Straight down the throat of the keeper. Oh, he's been quite creative, Samuel de Jong. Considering he's a CDM, He does love to push forward and get involved in attacks. He hit the post in either the last episode or the one before that. He's come close to scoring goals as well as creating chances. Could be a free kick. Nothing's given, but McCall is in. Doesn't score a second though. Good save by Jones to keep up with his feet. Lorenzo trying to close the... Oh, it's a nice turn by James Vaughan. Still going here. Back to Morsey. Through to James Vaughan again. What a through ball. What a finish. How was he in that much space there? James Vaughan scores a second for Wigan. He cut inside and just watch the run he makes. No one goes with him. And then the defenders just look at him. It's a hell of a finish too. First time on his left foot to bend it tops like that. That is top draw. Wow. What a goal. Lugano with a back heel. De Jong is there. Cross here into McCall. Stephen Munoz made the run. It's a good ball to him too. Look to turn inside. It's Stephen Munoz on his favoured left foot. Oh, good save by the keeper. Perhaps I should have drilled it low. Trying to slow them down here, which we've done well. But by slowing them down, it means that more people are able to get forward in support of the attack. Here's Colclough. Nice tackle. It will just pop up for Bennett to grab there. I'll try and quickly go on a counter myself. Although, how well that's going to work, I'm not sure. Well enough so far. McCall is running very low on stamina though. I have got him set to come off momentarily. Similarly with Hughes on this far side. But Hughes, will not equalise for us with his last touch of the game. So close, but yet so far. Here's Laurent. Down the line to Vaughan with a great first touch. And a good through ball too. He goes down there, the Wigan man. But nothing's given. Seems a bit tame if a foul would have been given there. Working this about nicely. Dimitrov kicks that straight against Massey, and that might be game over. 2 minutes added on. I'm not sure we'll actually see possession again before the final whistle goes. They're just going to play it about here, Wigan, quite nicely. To be fair, if they score a third goal from this attack, it would pretty much sum up my game. Indeed it would. 3-1 Wigan. We've had twice as many chances as them. They've just scored 3 times as many goals. It's a good finish from Powell. Their second goal and their third goal have both been quality finishes. Very, very good football from Wigan. You can tell why they got automatic promotion last year. And they've clearly improved again. But as have we, not too disheartened from that. We'll push now into this second game of the episode. See if we can pick up points from that one instead. Transfer offer in for Riley Campbell. Now he's a player I would definitely consider selling. He's valued at 1.4, so I would like to negotiate this. But I'm quite happy to stick with a 4-4-2. There've been a lot of call in the comments for me to change formation. But I am very happy with the 4-4-2, and I'd like to stick with it for the time being. So I am going to sell on a number of midfielders. They're not going to want to accept it anyway, okay. But I am going to sell on a number of the excess or surplus to requirements central midfielders that I have. I'm quite happy with De Jong and Schwartz and Hara and Lugano, and of course we had George Clark as well, waiting to come up from the youth academy system as well. That's 5 central midfielders, and I've got a number of others that I just quite simply don't need, so I'm going to look to sell them on. We've got some scout reports here though. 64 to 84, 5'6" as a striker. I'm going to say no to him. 71 to 91, that's promising. A few people saying I should just, in situations like this, rather than wait another month and risk them getting signed up by someone else, I should just sign them and then I can always release them if they're not good enough. So I shall do that. We're going to release these guys though because they're not good enough. 28 to 40, no. Come on, you're my 5-star scout, Callum, and you're offering me absolute tosh. What can we get from... 77 to 94. That's more promising as a centre-back. I don't know as I really need a centre-back, though, to be fair. I've got a number already. But that potential is probably too good to turn down, isn't it? I'll sign him up and we'll see what he looks like. 70 to 90 for the left-back as well. Oh, he's already signed someone else. He's gone to Leganes, hasn't he? Right. Okay, 68 to 88. I'll say no. 72 to 94. See, situations like this is where I want to leave it another month to see how the potential spectrum narrows, so to speak. So that one I will leave another month. 49 to 69 is a no. 59 to 81 is a no. That's a no. That's a no. That's a no. Okay, well, we'll leave him another month, and we'll see how that spectrum narrows. The other guy, though, that we called up, his spectrum was close enough for us to make the judgment call. 77 to 94 looks decent. Okay physically. I have absolutely no idea what his potential is, though, with regards... like, yes, it says 77 to 94, but they normally have a tagline, don't they? Whether it's like potential to be special or showing great potential, etc. And I can't see that yet. Nicholas Allen is 71 to 91, so he's looking okay. Looks all right technically to start off with as well, although passing could obviously be improved. He's a cam. And George Cooper obviously is going to be the guy that I'm itching to get up to the first team and start training considerably. I think I have started training him briefly. Giovanni Bruno, I just don't know. I might as well call him up and promote him to the senior team now. There's no point not. He looks decent, and he has decent potential at 6'4" as well. But I do have a number of other centre backs, and I don't want to just overload myself with centre backs. He's only 51 rated. I will send him out on loan if I can at the next given opportunity. But you can see just how many. Actually, I'll do it that way around. And then Guerra. You can see how many extra central midfielders I have that I quite simply just don't need, and how many centre backs I have that I quite simply don't need. It was more Bruno's potential that interested me there more so than anything else. 77 to 94, he will probably, hopefully, grow quite well. But players like McLean and Hagland can leave, and then Bejarano and Marin Ruiz, Rose, Lorenzo and Sensi. Well, jeez, I've got so many players. I really need to move on a number of people, don't I? We'll do that over the course of the season, though, and into January as well. But up next, I think it was Bournemouth in the next game. We shall go and play them now. Corner for Bournemouth. Regatta to deliver into the box, which he does. Bennett will come and catch well. Bournemouth are a side that tend to do well in the Premier League on FIFA. Obviously, we've seen them in a decent... Oh, wow. Neumann's got the room to get in behind here. Marina closing me down. No, I just need to find the right pass at the right time. Oh, De Jong's touch isn't the best. Ake's deflection pops the ball right into Begovic's arms. There's still such a strong side here, Bournemouth. How they managed to get themselves relegated, I have no idea. Like I was saying, they normally do quite well in the Premier League. I struggle against them, and I have typically struggled against them with Southampton and Chelsea in both other Premier League saves that I've done so far this season. So how they've managed to get themselves relegated to the Championship in Season 3, I'm not entirely too sure. Think that over there looking for Castaneda, who's starting for the first time in a while here on this right-hand side. I'll look to deliver the ball into the box, but it's a poor delivery, and they'll clear it. 10 minutes in, it's still 0-0, but I've got a funny feeling I might be losing this one. Bournemouth are probably going to be just too strong for me. De Jong will get that forward there to Munoz, who's spun well. Munoz, good save by Begovic. He's probably going to be the main reason why I lose this game. Any chances I do create, pretty certain are going to be stopped by him. Free kick for Bournemouth after half an hour. Regatta is going to shoot. Did he want to hit that any harder? Bloody hell. Thankfully, it was straight at the keeper. Otherwise, that would certainly have gone in. The technique there was brilliant to just hit it so flat and so hard. Unbelievable free kick. Luckily for me, it hasn't gone in. We're still at 0-0. There has been chances at both ends. It's not that we haven't had the opportunity to come forward. It's just that whenever we do, either a defender gets a foot in or Begovic makes a save. But it's been the same for them, going the other way. Either a defender steps in or Bennett makes a save. So I don't know how the second half is going to go, but it feels like it's going to be a draw. But at the same time, if either side can get themselves one goal to go in front, I think that might be the winning team. Benikofobi. Thomas to Regatta to Benikofobi. Oh, nice little drop of the shoulder. And again, to a teammate. Good save, Bennett. Corners come in from Regatta. Bournemouth pushing hard here for a goal to go in front, but they're not able to find it. Forward to Demo. Back there to Lugano. Around the corner to Esteban Munoz. Runners all around me. There's Lugano. Drop the shoulder. Go on, son. Blocked. Corner to come in. Look for the tall men in the middle, one of which here is Sensi. Good save down low by Asmir Begovic. Going to be 0-0 at half-time, despite numerous chances for both teams. Oh, lovely footwork from Thomas. And there to King. Through the gap to Benicophobe. Around the corner to Jordan Ibe. Back to Benicophobe. Great footwork and the finish. The quality is the difference. There was that little drag back and go again from Benicophobe that was what sold me there. Just that. Too good. Lovely finish too. 1-0 Bournemouth. We're going to be losing here. I don't see myself getting back in this. King into Gacinovic. Ball roll. Nicely done. All the way to pass is brilliant. Side netting only from Jordan Ibe. They're taking Benicophobe off now. I've switched both my wingers. Great. Callum Wilson coming on. Just what we need. Christ. Here's Josh King. Ariata. Out here to... Oh, good save. No, it's going to drop to a what a block. It dropped straight to Callum Wilson, I think it was. And the defender was in the way. That would have been game over at 2-0. As it happens, it's still 1. They've definitely dominated the game, though. As you would expect, to be fair, Bournemouth against Wimbledon. You would very much expect them to dominate the game and win it. Dominate it they have. Won it they haven't yet. Callum Wilson on the run. It's far too fast. Oh. They deserve it, but it's still disappointing to lose by 2. Callum Wilson's just too fast. I went to lean on him there, and he was already too far ahead of me, so the defender actually ended up cutting behind him. It was a simple lay across, and Josh King tucks it home. It'll be 2-0 Bournemouth, and a second defeat for us. But a game against Bournemouth we are expected to lose. The game against Wigan, I was hoping for a draw, but expected to lose because of how good they were against us last year, regardless of how poorly they'd started this particular league campaign. So I'm not overly disheartened from the 2 defeats here. Got a game midweek. Can't quite remember who it's against now off the top of my head. May even be Barnsley actually, the other side that came up with us from League One. So we've played Wigan already. One of the 2 sides that got automatic promotion and lost. We'll now go into... Oh yeah, Bournemouth, 12 shots to my 4. Pretty sure they deserved that. And then I believe it's Barnsley midweek. And then it was Reading at the end of the month, wasn't it? For the 3rd played game of the episode. Eventually it will... Yeah, it is going to be Barnsley. Okay. All right, I'll go and have a train. And then we'll play that game against Barnsley. Or sim that game against Barnsley. Now Sheffield United have offered for Riley Campbell as well. Another offer that's underneath his valuation. Again, I'll negotiate it and try and get a little bit more for him if I can. I want at least valuation. He's valued at 1.4. I'm not going to just needlessly sell someone for undervaluation. They're not happy to go up to 1.7 or even renegotiate from there either. Suit yourselves, Sheffield United. Suit yourselves. Right, Barnsley at home. Simulate. Let's get a point at least. They've only got 2 points from their last 3 games. We've gotten, I believe, 3 points from our last 3 games with a win and then those 2 defeats. Can't quite remember what the final result was in the last game of the last episode off the top of my head. Half an hour in, it's 0-0. As we approach half time, it's 0-0. Hara on for Hughes. Dimitrov! 1-0 Wimbledon. Keep it going. Do it again. Or just stay as is. I'm quite happy for a 1-0 win, to be fair. Yes! 1-0 victory at home against Barnsley. That 3 points will come in handy. Reading next. In fact, that's boosted us back up the table again. Andreu wants to play more. Bejarano wants to play more. Go on then. I'll give them both a game here against Reading. We'll jump into this one now. I'll give Andreu and Bejarano a start. And we'll have to hope that they impress. Andreu to Dave Walker. In there to Mancinelli, who's getting the game ahead of Badimo right now. Is that a foul? It is, but we'll play on. I'll drop to Samuel. I keep saying Simon de Jong. I'm annoying myself with my inability to remember my own bloody players' names. Swift with the ball forward to Bodvarsson. Sensi tackles. Oh God, the ball is pinging about here. Bodvarsson turns. Of course, we have just played Reading in the Southampton save in the FA Cup. Finish! We have just played Reading in the FA Cup in the Southampton save. And they caused me all sorts of problems, forcing a replay. And, well, They're 1-0 up here after 6 minutes against my Wimbledon team. If I struggled with my Southampton side, I don't really stand much chance with this Wimbledon one, do I? Swift. Barrow. That should be won by Sensi and is. Terrible clearance though. Barrow across to Rackles, who flashes that past the post. A couple of the clearances from my defenders in this episode have been really poor. Like, they're just not gone anywhere. First one in the first game actually cost me a goal. That one very nearly did the same. Modu Barrow just simply sprinting and it being an effective tactic, but thankfully the secondary shot goes wide as well. Evans across to Gunter. Down the line there to Rackles. Cross could come in. It's a decent one. Up we go. Oh, Jesus, wet keeps. Oh, give him out a heart attack. Very, very... Oh, God, what a terrible first touch. Very, very nearly 2-0 Reading there. It has been a difficult month, playing against teams that, well, are just on paper and clearly on grass better than me. We did do quite well in the last episode, but we've struggled here against, don't you even think about giving a pen, against Reading and Bournemouth. Well, I mean, Bournemouth we expected to lose heavily against, I suppose. I think it's going to be a bit of a yo-yo season. It's going to be, you know, oh, we're challenging for the playoffs, or oh, we're probably going to get relegated, or oh, it's 1-1 through Castaneda off the bench in the 62nd minute and we've equalised against Reading. Yo-yo season. Nice interception from Ruben Hara. De Jong out wide to Andreu. Inside to De Jong. There's Ruben Hara again. Demo could go for a 1-2. Oh, nearly. We'll drop to Castaneda. That will fall kindly for Samuel De Jong. I need someone to pass to, lads. Thank you. Oh, just held my breath as it looked as if it was going to float into the far top corner. Leandro Bacuna coming on for Joey Vandenberg. 20 minutes to go. We're still level. Driving around the outside. We are right in the very end of the game now. Stoppage time at the end of the second half. And in fact, the final whistle might come as soon as possession changes hands for another time. And indeed it has. 2 defeats, a win and a draw from today's episode. Definitely going to be a yo-yo season. It will be more successful than Season 1 was in League 1, but less successful than Season 2 was in League 1 with regards to league position. After the first episode of, episode 2, first episode of League Games, I was very, very nervous about what this season was going to entail. After yesterday's episode, I was perhaps very optimistic about what this season was going to entail. On a more positive note, I think after this third one, mid-table, we've gone from, oh, I might get relegated to, oh, maybe we could get the playoffs to, now we've had experience of terrible, we've had experience of great, and then we've had experience of just in the middle. And I think mid-table is going to be all we achieve this season in the Championship. But that is good enough for me, and it's good enough for the board too. They just want us to avoid relegation, and I'm quite happy just to avoid relegation. Just turned 16, George. When on earth is your birthday? He's still not growing either. I'm sure as soon as I call him up he will do, but he's not growing yet. And Nicholas Allen, 66 to 82. His potential is still 57 rated as well. I'd like to think he'd get towards the upper end of that, but we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. That is the league table as it stands. We lost to Bournemouth. They're currently top of the table. We lost to... Who did I play in the second game? My brain's died. Who did? Wigan. Ah, well, they would be bottom if we'd have beaten them, but they beat me. But never mind. We lost them last year, so it's no surprise. A draw against Reading, though. Where are Reading? Reading? Oh, right next to us in 11th. And obviously we have Barnsley as well in the simulated game, and they're in the relegation zone too, and we beat them by a 1-0. So we beat one of the sides we got promoted with and lost to the other one. But out of the three of us, we're the higher in the table. We are 6 points above the relegation zone and 4 points off the playoffs. Solidly mid-table, one might say, and I think that might be a theme for the rest of the season, but we'll see how successful we can actually get. It's more about growing the players more so again this year than actually pushing for promotion. Kind of replicating what we did in Season 1, but a league higher. almost. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on more. I'll see you next time.